China has a population of 1.4 billion, and Ningbo City has a population of 9.7 million. But there is no one on the streets, no one in the shops. Where have all the people gone? Taiwan City has a population of 5 million. There is no one on the streets, no one in the stores, and even no one in the subway stations. Where have all the people gone?
Where has everyone gone? The streets are empty, the shops are deserted. Did everyone just take the wrong road? This year's business is making me wonder if my shop is on an isolated island.
Shenzhen has a population of over 18 million, but the streets are deserted. The shops empty. Where have all the people gone? Is it just because we can't see them?
Let's return to 2023, when China's epidemic was drawing to a close. China's official 2022 population figure of 1.41175 billion has drawn skepticism from the outside world. The most obvious question is, population change is the net increase, births minus deaths. Official figures show 10.41 million deaths in China in 2022, similar to previous years. However, the world has witnessed the viral tsunami that has swept China since the beginning of December 2022. Some have calculated that the workload at Beijing's crematoriums increased fivefold in December 2022. Applying this to the entire country, the death toll in December 2022 alone would be approximately 4 million. Therefore, China's death toll in 2022 will undoubtedly be far higher than in previous years. There's a claim online in Chinese that Japan's health authorities, based on China's salt consumption, estimated that China's population had fallen to approximately 900 million in 2021. However, we have yet to find an authoritative source for this claim. The 2022 Shanghai Public Security Bureau database leak revealed that China's actual population is approximately 1 billion. This data has more concrete evidence. The Shanghai Public Security Bureau database was compromised, and a hacker named China Dan publicly sold information on mainland Chinese residents and police case data on cybercrime forums. Two separate security researchers confirmed that a table in the database containing names, birthdays, addresses, ID cards, and ID photos contained approximately 970 million individuals. Radio Free Asia released an investigative report stating, "A practitioner familiar with the data industries in China and the United States explained to reporters that based on clues, one possible source of the leak was when programmers using Elasticsearch to build a big data search system for the Shanghai Public Security Bureau backed up the data on Alibaba Cloud. However, due to an error, a backdoor in the data was left open, allowing the information to be downloaded or browsed on the data visualization website Kibana. Those familiar with IT know that an Elasticsearch search sends all database data to Elasticsearch, which then analyzes and sorts the data to meet the Shanghai Public Security Bureau's technical requirements for fully intelligent search. This means the database on Alibaba Cloud is complete. This completeness suggests that the Shanghai Public Security Bureau's database contains only about 1 billion people, a discrepancy of 400 million from the official Chinese population figure of 1.42 billion. Where did these 400 million people go? How could there be such a significant gap? In 2023, Falun Gong founder Mr. Li Hongzhi explicitly stated that the CCP had been covering up the pandemic for over 3 years and that the epidemic had already killed 400 million people in China. Master Li also explicitly stated that by the end of this wave of the epidemic, 500 million people would have died in China. This means that China's population will have decreased by another 100 million by 2023. This means that public opinion estimates that China's population is around 1 billion. Demographic data is crucial for decision-making because people of different ages have different consumption needs and habits. If China's population is truly only around 1 billion and is expected to decline significantly in the future, then anyone investing in China or engaging in other economic activities should be wary, as they may miscalculate the situation. The Chinese Communist Party government conducts a census every 10 years. In fact, the results of the 2020 national census, originally scheduled for early April 2021, were not released until May 11, 2021. The CCP has two concerns. One is that this data will reveal the number of deaths in China caused by the epidemic. The second is that it is concerned that China's population crisis will be exposed to the world. The Financial Times, citing sources familiar with the matter, stated that because China's total population figures are extremely sensitive, various CCP departments must reach a consensus on the relevant data and the implications. At the time, the Financial Times, based on its sources, believed that China's latest census results showed that the total population had fallen below 1.4 billion, the first population decline in approximately 60 years. The high likelihood of falsification of China's population data has, in fact, exacerbated China's population problems. To enforce the country's family planning policy, the Family Planning Commission, a massive agency, was established in 1981. Experts had warned senior Chinese officials that the birth rate had fallen to 1.2 by 2000, suggesting it was time to abandon the one-child policy. However, officials at the Family Planning Commission, unwilling to compromise their interests, inflated the birth rate. This game of inflated figures persisted for over a decade until China's employment, pension, and other issues became increasingly apparent, becoming inconsistent with the birth figures. In 2016, the Chinese government finally allowed families to have 2 children. In 2018, the Family Planning Commission was partially abolished. If the officials at the National Population and Family Planning Commission hadn't falsified the data, the Chinese government might have been able to allow families to have more children 10 years earlier. If the huge middle class eager to have more children had been given the green light during China's 30-plus years of rapid economic growth. As the economy grew, the country's demographic situation today would be completely different. However, the CCP's characteristic is its refusal to admit error. It must always appear glorious, great, and correct. Amidst an economic downturn, a significant population decline is not conducive to career advancement for officials at all levels. One can speculate on the mentality of officials at all levels who are so thoroughly corrupt as to provide data to their superiors. Even if they aren't data experts, ordinary Chinese citizens have personally experienced the significant decline in market size. With fewer people, daily consumption naturally decreases, and there's no need to buy more houses. Business closures and layoffs have naturally become the norm. The CCP's acknowledgement of a slight negative population growth confirms long-held suspicions from other countries. However, we must be more cautious in estimating the true scale of China's large market. A sharp decline in population and an aging population will further drive a significant contraction in China's production and consumption. Production and consumption are the core driving forces of an economy and society. Therefore, China's social structure has undergone significant changes, and the frequent claims of CCP leaders about China's huge market size are rapidly losing their substance.